So as I mentioned, we pulled up and there was still a whole bunch of stuff on the day of our walkthrough. Kind of made recording kind of hard, trying to keep their stuff private too. The house is from the 1890s and the owner kept it that way. If something broke or needed repairing, she would either have the original fixed or she would go find a door or whatever it was from the same year to replace it with. We learned a lot on the walkthrough actually. Turns out that one of the sheds used to be a meat processing, basically where they would salt their meat, God knows how long ago. Another one was basically like a fridge for the winter. They would put their potatoes and stuff in there. A lot of history here. And a ton of fruit trees and nut trees. I'll go into that later, but yeah. It's kind of a shocker to realize this is my backyard. This is where we're gonna be. And it goes further than you can tell. It's overwhelming. And a perfect little patio where you know we'll be barbecuing. But just for perspective, the front yard has 4 pecan trees back to back right in front of the house. And that's just the start. This is an old school house. Every room had a fireplace at one point. They've all actually been filled in because it's a fire hazard in today's world, but you get the gist. It's definitely an older home. Wallpaper, wooden floors. It's actually beautiful. We totally missed that the front door had stained glass the first time we viewed the house. I just love it. I can't help it. What will be the reptile area is huge. It's basically the entire second floor. The only problem is there was still a lot of stuff in here, so the video here is pretty bad. I will have better video later. But it has 2 windows that get direct sunlight, so that's going to be helpful. But this entire area will be the reptile area. Ignore the rug that's being pulled, of course. It's just a cover. But here's some more little views inside the house with the wallpaper and such. Now, something that was kind of interesting is pay attention to this view. This is from our porch, our front porch. And you see that grass across the street. So this is our house right here. And of course, this is our surrounding, that's basically our yard, our backyard. But if you go across the street, that big green area in there, that's where our house was. That's the street. And that's that green area. That's also ours. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but that's all ours. On a good note, that's a special pecan tree. It's called a Stewart pecan tree. I guess it's a pretty big deal. The bathroom is also, of course, in the older fashion. This one here is going to take a little reworking. There's actually quite a bit of work to be done, but it's nothing we haven't done before. And there were surprises the opposite. This shed that used to be the meat salting area, it looks very old on the outside, but they did it right. Instead of redoing the outside, they just reinforced the inside with good wood. And something else we missed the first time is that the backside is actually almost like a barn. Misty's eyeing this as the possible new home for her tortoises, to have an inside and an outside. There are just so many amazing trees here. That's a whole nother video in itself, though. But when you're coming from a state where your houses are this close, it's definitely a change. And I'm so grateful for it, honestly. And it didn't take long for us to start finding new friends of a different sort. Yep. We're not in California anymore.